What's up, everybody? Spike Shooter here. We're doing a second video this week, which has been a rarity all month, but here we are. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Yeah, just chilling. If people saw my video yesterday, I'm fucking sunburned as hell today, and it burns. Um,
All right, so I'm gonna put in my 2 cents on what happened today, or pretty much for the last few days, with the SmartBusters Discord. I know Joan of Smart saw the video that Lefty put up earlier, but I wanted to just go over the points that were made there and also some of my personal experiences with it. But I'll start by this. So I was in the Discord from the very beginning. Um, I'm I know Rob kind of wanted me to be a part of it, so I did. I was a mod there, even though I wasn't really doing a whole lot of mod like stuff. But no, I think at the very beginning it was fine. It was mostly a group just getting together, having fun. As I know, this lefty and righty both said that they wanted the main goal of the Discord to be, and things were going fine for the first couple weeks. Honestly, from my view, I mean, yeah, you would get occasional edge lord that would say a lot of ridiculous bullshit, but for the most part, things were okay. I think though what happened was apparently I think Rorb got a little bit bored by doing it. I think that's what at least I heard. I'll have to talk to him a little bit more directly about that. But around the time that he was leaving, there were a couple users on there who um, I guess are transsexual, and I know a lot of SmartBuster fans are very, very conservative, very right wing, or so they make their appearance to be. And I know Rob made them mods, and I think those got uh, these particular users in a bit of a hissy fit, for lack of a better word. Um, yeah, I think from there it just went completely downhill. We got a lot of people trying to talk big, tried to be trolls, like try to be offensive, but when they were trying to do it, they come off as being uh, unfunny, complete hacks, a bunch of retards, and it just made for a very lousy experience. I mean, I know for both of us, I know Jonas Mark and I don't really like how SJW culture has been forced down our throats, but I'd say like when it comes to people with different sexual orientations or race, I know some of them were even saying the N word a lot. So I'm glad that Joan, you were not a part of this, but it was getting annoying. It was getting tiring, and I think what really was the final straw was apparently Subway was trying to dox a couple of users. I think one of them was Lefty, who was only on there a couple times a week, and I knew that the time was going to be coming to a close with it. The more that was going on, so and it sucks because I met a lot of good people on there. I wouldn't say I'm like big friends with them. I'm not like very close with a whole bunch of people on there, but it was a fun experience when it actually worked. And it sucks that it's yet again another instance here in the YWC where something good gets completely derailed by trolls that want to be edgy, want to be cool, but end up being retards and absolute faggots. I mean, and I'm serious when I say that because that was the actual behavior that they're doing. I know uh, a lot of these trolls were telling some of the transsexuals that were mods to like one of the more visible um, people that were on there to go kill themselves, which completely failed troll. And there's no absolutely no place for that sort of bullshit, honestly. So yeah, I I wasn't I wasn't thrilled that that was going on. I knew that we were going to be closed down, but it's sad because it was a great spot. But I think, uh, on the other hand, well, let's start with that stuff. So, what is your response to hearing about all that stuff, Jonas Mark?
It just makes me think, like fucking elementary grade school, you get something like extra recess, you get some privilege thing, i.e., this Discord, and then fucking one person or a couple people ruin it for everybody. So it just makes me think of that. Like, you can't it's literally that meme. This is why we can't have nice things. And it's like, that's the thing. I don't really give a shit who's a mod. I don't care if they're a boy, a girl. I don't care if they identify as a goddamn plant. I really don't care. I'm there for content. I'm there to just talk about things. Like, why would it matter if you're a Hogan fan and a girl? Or why would it matter if you're a Hogan fan who's a girl who identifies as a boy who wants to transition? That doesn't change anything. You're still a Hogan fan. I mean, that's technically like why people are there, to see who's fans of what. So it's like, I really don't get why people are getting so edgelordy and stupid over stuff. Like, yes, get it. We get there's like transsexuals and we get like there's different people of different genders. Like, okay, it's 2021. We've known that for a while. Like, even growing up, like we were, you know, not as much now, but brought into the light of, hey, there's different genders. There's people who say they're a guy but feel more as a woman. I'm like, okay, I really don't care. As long as they're not sexually creepy with me, I don't really give a shit. So it's like, that shouldn't ruin people's fun, and people shouldn't be doing the stupid edgelord stuff of, oh, go kill yourself. And it's like, these people really are dumb, as you say, because like there's stuff now, like if you tell someone to go kill themselves online and they end up doing it, then you're literally going to jail because it's literally in the messages, or
Well,
like it's now like a criminal offense with that. So I mean, I'm sure I have friends who are Trump supporters. I personally fucking hate them, but that doesn't prevent me from still being nice to people. So it's like the same with this, like just stupid dumbasses ruining things again.
absolutely, and like I said, I like the Smart Busters. We've been watching their stuff for years, but I gotta say, some of these fans of theirs like take their shtick completely seriously, and they said it themselves. A lot of stuff they say is just absolute comedy. A lot of the stuff they say shouldn't be taken seriously because they don't real. This is just like a fuck around type of thing on YouTube. Their word should be gospel, yet there are people that take it for gospel. So when they go on a place like this, they want to prove that I think they want to like satisfy righty and lefty by being edgy and saying all this shit to them, and it makes them think that they're cool in righty and lefty's book. But the truth is, righty and lefty think that you're a giant piece of shit for that. And that's what they don't get.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I get people take stuff literally, but they've had some videos where they're like, oh, we hope this fucking person just gets fired. Like, we hope this person like rots in hell. And like, I'm sure if like the wrestlers that they hate died, they'd obviously like feel bad and stuff. But it's like opinions. Like, let's see. I don't like the Yankees, but I don't hope the entire Yankees team burns in a fire because that'd be fucking awful. But I just don't like them. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, but again, I don't go out and target people who are Yankees fans. I think it's Lefty who's a Yankees fan and
They're
stuff.
both Yankees fans.
Yeah, I still respect the hell out of both of them. I'm not going to go out to them and be like, "Oh, you guys are fucking bitches because you like the Yankees." No, like they're regardless of liking the Yankees, it's about like who the person is, and if the person's nice, it shouldn't matter. But like now where people take everything too seriously. Like people are such simps for everything. People like literally try to get the appraisal of people, and it's like, are people that pathetic now that you need to like appease people online who you've A, never met, and B, will probably never meet, just with some edgy comments just to try to be this supreme edgelord? It's like, okay, all you're doing is making yourself look like a douchebag. You're getting like crowd hate and stuff, and it's like nothing's really happening. So it's like you're accomplishing nothing with that. Like, I just really still don't understand the mindset behind people with that. People are honestly stupid a lot of times.
And again, and this was why I didn't really want to get you involved with the YWC to begin with all those years ago too, because I knew that when I was starting out on here, the YWC was full of people like that, full of trolls and sock accounts that would pull that sort of shit all the time.
I mean,
And
it's nothing new to me. Sorry to cut you off, but I used to admin a bunch of Facebook's groups, and this is the same shit that happened. Like I've had times where I was the admin of a group and ran a page, and then people try to dox users, like spread fake rumors and shit, and then it was literally like all 14 admins saying like I was trying to hit on some fucking random person. And I'm like, I don't even know what person you're talking about. Like, check my messages. I don't know even know who this person is. Like you can't change people's mind once they're in this stupid mindset. People are just gonna believe what they want. And that's why honestly people are so stupid. Like they'll believe anything that's said. They're not willing to think for themselves. Like people are not that smart and think, hey, if I tell this person to kill themselves and they actually do, like they're gonna find out that it was that person who said it and they're gonna get in illegal trouble. Like people don't understand this. Like I had, I'll go into personal stuff. I had drama with people in my poke, and some kid was threatening to like beat me up and like stab me in the street. Like, okay.
Yep.
Like it's just like people are crazy now. Like so I just don't get it. Like, much appreciation to people like you and the Smart Busters and Rorb and Zubair who like keep it real and are like normal and can actually talk about shit. But like, there's still going to be those whack jobs out there no matter what you do.
And it just goes back to the fact that all this stuff is being done under anonymity. And that's one of the things about the Discord and about social media. Well, not all social media, but particularly with YouTube and sometimes Twitter and with Discord. You can make your own name, and you don't have to give away anything about your personal details. If you want to, you can put in a completely different name, and you can do whatever you want because, hey, unless you get doxxed, you're not going to really feel any consequences because it's never going to affect what they do in their real life. They'll just make other people's lives complete shit on these things for some sort of thrill, and it destroys everybody else's enjoyment. And like I said, I really enjoyed doing the Discord, and I thought that the people I was with, talking with on a regular basis, were pretty cool people. Not all of them. Some of them would try to be a little too jokey and try to be a little too uh, humorously offensive. But I'd say that there were more good people on there than there were complete assholes. And it sucks that they had to close it down, honestly. But that's what happens. I think that I'm going to quote something that Lefty said. It doesn't matter if you have if there are nine out of the 10 people in a sandbox are good people. There will always be one person that'll just make it a complete bullshit or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but with that, but you get what I'm saying. And it sucks.
One person ruins it for everyone, or like a few people ruin it for everyone. It's like, okay, so what do these people get out of it? They ruined the Discord or they got it shut down. Okay, what? They're going to continue living in their mom's basement until they're 50, destroying Discords, probably never having friends or a relationship or doing anything with their lives. Congratulations. You literally accomplished nothing because the Smart Busters still live on. They're still going to do their videos, and big deal. You took down a semi-active Discord, and it's not like you took down a major Discord that was like the number one World of Warcraft server or some shit. You took down a day-to-day Discord. Like, okay, like I just don't get it. What do you get out of that? Like, you know that you caused or helped take down a Discord? Like, okay, do you want like applause or are you proud of yourselves? Whoever's like caused the issue, like nobody's proud of them and everyone thinks they're a moron. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And now I want to talk about the other thing that he wanted to reference in the video, in which is um, just the role that the internet has pretty much taken in everyday life, which might have caused the trolls to be the way that they are. I mean, like Lefty said, when we were younger, technology was in very much limited supplies. I mean, when Microsoft came out, when I was a kid, when it first came out, I was like 3 years old, and I remember the one of the few things I did was just playing like CD-ROM games and stuff like that. But after my parents divorced, my dad had a computer with like AOL, and I would go use that every weekend. But they would put the computer in my mom's house in my sister's room, and she hogged it for a while. And even when she was at my dad's house, she would hog it. So my internet time was a little bit limited when I wasn't in school. So once she stopped coming to my dad's house because she had her own life, I was pretty much give, given all the computer time that I wanted. And let me admit something to you all. When I was younger, I was pretty much the same way that these people now are. I was very big on troll like behavior. I remember going into chat rooms and spamming forums and stuff like that because I was kind of antisocial. I had a lot of fucked up stuff happen to me, so that was just where my mind was at. So I can I can relate to them in that way, but the thing is, when you get older, you start to really see that what you're doing is kind of wrong. And at some point in my life, I decided to calm down, mostly because it was I grew up, I matured, wanted to start being a little more serious with the things that I was doing online. But he makes a good point. The internet can completely fuck your mind up the more you do it on a regular basis. And I think with the pandemic and everything, that just made it even worse because, you know, people were pretty much holded up in their houses during this whole thing. I think that screwed them up. And I think a lot of them spent more time on their screen during that whole period than they were at any point before then. And now you got people working from home, or they probably still are from the use of their laptop with all the programs that you use for like conferences and all that stuff. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't know about the whole fact that all these school shootings is due to the effects of so much internet time. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if statistics came back and that was one big factor because these people were on their screens all the time. But who knows? But yeah, what's your take on all that?
Um, yeah, I mean, growing up, we had AOL too, and just yeah, I just remember, it was like a big thing having chat rooms, and there'd obviously be the anonymous strangers on it, and there'd be like, I don't know, it wasn't as bad as it was now. Nowadays, it's like every group, every chat room, every platform, people are trying to shut down. Like even PlayStation. Like everyone just tries to shut down PlayStation. Like when people crash the network, everyone's like, "Oh, people are doxing users and like, you know, dox attacks on like Xbox Live and all that and PlayStation." It's like, okay, so it's like great, you shut down the website for 2 or 3 days or like online, and now it's back up, and all those people are like permanently banned or kicked off. Okay, it's just like I feel like it's such a big thing now for people to have like that power, like, oh, I took down this network, and it's like, okay, that's great. It's going to be back up and running again. It's nothing got accomplished. So I don't know. I feel like it's getting worse though. Like people just do that with everything. Like every platform, every game, every online thing, people are like obsessed with trying to just destroy. Like I used to play that Marvel Facebook game when that was around. There was never any.
Oh, I tried that one actually a couple times, and then I just didn't get it for a while.
Oh, I have as level 400 or 300 or whatever it was, and I had all characters up to level 15 and didn't pay a cent. I kind of played a lot. Um, but like I never had any issues on that. Like I made a couple friends on that. No one shut down the servers. The company played them obviously kind of sucked because they'd be like server maintenance till 2 a.m. And then at 7 a.m. still server maintenance. Here's one gold bar as an apology. And I'm like, thanks, you bunch of bitches. One gold bar. That won't buy me anything. Um, so it's like the company sucked. I made a few friends off it, but like we didn't have any of that stupid people trying to ban each other and do stuff. A couple people in the group would be like, click here for free gold. And then some dumbasses would click on the link and it would bring them on like some fucking porn site. So,
Oh God.
Yeah, people.
And we did have, and I don't mean to cut you off, but in the Discord, we did have some trolls putting up pornographic pictures like for like a split second until someone had to take that off. And that was pretty shitty as well.
Yeah, I mean, people still don't understand the tiny URL thing, so people would click on it in the Marvel group, and then it's like, apparently, like someone posted like animal porn. I'm like, why are these like troll accounts or real accounts? Like in the Facebook groups, people would do that, and
honestly, everything that we've said about internet trolls can be applied to video games too, because if these people aren't doing it on the internet, they're gonna be doing it on like Call of Duty streams or shit like that, where people are going to like say racially insensitive language or any sort of like insults or a lot of that bullshit during a game. So I don't think it's just the internet. I think it's just if it's not that, it's on a game console or something like that. But yeah, this stuff I have to agree, this stuff is definitely messing up with our minds a lot more. And yes, definitely our humanity. But you remember when the internet wasn't everywhere, and we would spend a lot of our time outside, maybe just like going on hikes or going fishing or doing more simple stuff.
Bike rides, scooters and skateboards, and trying to do tricks and stuff. And now it's like literally people like there's so many people who, granted, I did this for a period of time, but I go out, take walks, hikes, I actually go things and see things. But like there's people who are like 20, 25 and their life is wake up, video games, go to work, come home, video games, and that's it. It's like, did you even see your friend the sun today? Like, it's just like, I don't get it. Like, granted, I can do like video games for a long period of time. Hell, I did that fucking Marvel marathon with every single Marvel movie in phase 1. I sat in the theater for 3 straight days and watched Marvel movies. But it's like I go out, I do stuff, I have a job, I have a relationship. Like I don't just sit at home and play video games all the time and get Cheeto dust everywhere. Like I do things. So it's like I feel like our generation in the 90s in that area is like the last ones that went outside, last ones that do stuff, but now just everything's online, headsets, gaming. Oh, let's get home from school so we can all go and join like our LAN party, or like let's all go on and like do Among Us and all this other shit. And it's like, why don't you go outside and do something, or like even take a walk to get an ice cream if you need like to do something. But like people just don't go out or do anything anymore.
It's social media, man. They spend more time wanting to talk to their friends through social media and have that instant gratification instead of just waiting around for a bit until their friends come over and go out and do that sort of shit. A lot of people have become antisocial in more recent times. I think the pandemic might have a lasting effect with that, don't you think?
Probably. I mean, I work with kids too, and I know a lot of them like are like, "Oh, I'm meeting my friend online and we're gonna play like Smash Brothers." I'm like, why don't you call your friend up and arrange plans and maybe have a sleepover, hang out and play video games all afternoon? And they're like, no, I don't need to. And it's like, That's a problem. I'd rather see my friends and fucking just hang out online.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I would do the same thing too. And it sucks because my social life hasn't been all that great, especially since high school, when a lot of my friends moved out to different parts of the country. So mine has been failing a little bit. Thankfully, I think that now I'm going to be trying to spend more time out of the house, especially now that I do get togethers with people. And that's coming back now that COVID and everything uh, and all those restrictions have been lifted. So I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna go back to just hanging out in breweries, drinking beer, and doing that kind of stuff. I've been definitely been gonna be hanging a little bit more with family. I did that just last Saturday, actually, and that was kind of a fun thing. So I'm trying. I definitely think that people should take Lefty's advice. They need to put the cell phone down, put the laptops or whatever down, the iPad or whatever, for even for just a day and see how that goes. And you'll feel so much better, honestly. I think a lot of people need to try that exercise for at least a day and just see how that feels. And hopefully, maybe they'll try a little bit more. Um, it doesn't have to be an everyday thing because that would just be overkill. And that's kind of um, that wouldn't probably work just the way things are now. But I think if they do it at least a couple days a week or something like that, I think that that would make a world of difference, probably for their psyche and for their anxiety and all that stuff.
yeah, it's just like good to get out. Like even days where, there'd be days where I'd go to work, and even though I got out of the house and did stuff and went to work, I'm like, I still want to do stuff after. And granted, I understand you couldn't do shit with COVID, like everything was closed, everything was whatever. Now stuff's open, so it's like there's no excuse. Like hell, even like look up, I don't know, if there's new ice cream places near you, or like, what movies are coming out, or just seeing like new stuff. Like it doesn't really matter. Like I did go-karts recently. I sucked at it because my fucking legs are too long. But like, you know, go out and do something, walk around the block. I don't know, like anything. Like I do stuff. I get out of the house. I was sort of indoors today because I'm still red as a strawberry and fucking hurting. But I'll be out again tomorrow. I spent all day yesterday at the pool, swimming, hanging out with people, socializing, um, and shit like that. So it's like it's not that hard to get out there. And I get people are gonna say, "Oh, we have social anxiety, blah blah blah. We have all this." It's
I
like,
mean,
okay.
I'm guilty of that myself, honestly.
I mean, I think everyone is, but like, at least try it. Like, if people
Right.
try it, and I have a friend who has really bad anxiety, he'll try to leave the house, talk to people, and then he'll get a panic attack. So it's like, okay, well, at least you tried. Like, you didn't just bitch about it and sit at home. And now that we don't need these fucking things anymore, I absolutely fucking hate wearing these.
Yeah.
We can actually like go and do.
I still have to use it if I had to go to the doctors or something like that too.
Oh yeah, I have a fucking car appointment, I think tomorrow or the next day, and they're like, oh, mask required. I'm like, great, get to wear that. Um, but yeah, like go out, do shit. Like
Yep.
it's not like there isn't stuff to do. Like there's new movies, there's hanging out with friends. Like, I think that's why a lot of places are doing drive-in movies just to try to get people to leave the fucking house.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if that sticks even after all this. I wish it will stick because I'd rather be outside with lawn chairs and maybe a blanket instead of being in an indoor cinema
or
at
like
this point in time.
do a campfire and marshmallows or something, or like whatever. Like, I don't know. There's so many things I can like name to do. Like, it's not that hard.
I mean,
Um,
I got bonfire pit in at my house, so if I want to have people over, I can just do that, and we can just shoot the shit for hours if we wanted to.
yeah, I got one of those too, and I got marshmallow sticks, and I got all this shit. So it's like, I don't know. Like, granted, I'm not saying video games are bad, but like,
But it's good in moderation, just
yeah,
like the internet. I think a couple people I remember seeing pointed it out in the video too. But I will say this to you, Lefty. I have to disagree with you about going to a bar and striking up a conversation with somebody because I've tried to do that myself, and there's no like single people that are going to bars nowadays. They're either with a friend or with their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their wife or their husband. So I think you use a pretty bad example for like a bar because from my observations, that kind of situation is a rarity. So I just wanted to say that to you directly. So, but yeah, I kind of understand what he was trying to get with that, but it was just the wrong was sort of building, I think.
I think the only
Just speaking
single
from
people at
experience.
bars are the bartenders.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I've never seen a single girl at a bar, but I've always seen the bartender as single. Granted, I never really gave a crap about wanting to date them because it's like I'm not giving you a crap ton of extra money just so you'll talk to me. It's like, no, that's kind of boring. But like, I don't know, like I went to a brewery recently and like hung
mhm.
out with people I hadn't seen since the pandemic. Like I'm sure most of these people who have been in their house all the time haven't seen their friends in forever, so like make plans. Like I mean, granted, I'm guilty of spending a shit ton of time watching Netflix during the pandemic, but like, what else was I gonna do? I think I
Right.
binged Game of Thrones again in 2 weeks, like all 8 seasons.
But the point is, though, that there are people out there that are completely that are doing this shit that probably haven't ever gone on been social since maybe they got out of high school or something like that. They spend most of their days just being complete shit, not having a social life, and they go and ruin shit like they did with this Discord situation. I mean, you and me, we'll be more than happy to take any sort of social engagement or social activity. But these people that hide behind sock accounts and stuff like that, they don't want to do that. They seriously don't. And now we got what happened.
Yeah, it's just obnoxious.
Sorry about that. But yeah, that was pretty much our thoughts on this. Like I told you, man, I'm glad that I didn't have you be a part of this shit like 5 years ago because this when this was going on back at that point, it was 10 times as bad. I mean, I remember going into chat rooms of a bunch of streams and seeing a lot of immature toddler like humor, and them like saying this kind of bullshit only 10 times worse. But
Yeah.
just be glad for that part because I don't know, maybe I got a little mental just watching this shit as well.
I mean, I'm in some other Discord, so I've seen it all the time. I've most Facebook groups or things I've been in have been in it. Like the other thing too that a lot of people try to do is they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make a group or a Facebook thing with no rules, post whatever you want." And then
Mm.
literally like 24 hours later, they're like, "All right, we got to set some ground rules." Because there's literally fucking people who like post kitty porn. It's like, do you realize in your brain cells what's left of them that regardless if there's no rules, that's still not okay on any level. That's like still a jailable offense. Like people just don't seem to differentiate that. Like, I'll post offensive memes or really bad memes and stuff with like bad swearing or controversial like political stuff. But like that's different than like if people are going out of their way to being like, oh, here's some like dead 10-year-olds autopsy photos. It's like, where do people find this shit? Why are they posting it? And who do they think is gonna like this? Like it's like those stupid Facebook groups that are like, oh, post whatever, zero rules, and then they get shut down within 48 hours. It's just like, what do you expect when you literally let thousands of people, which you know nothing about, free reign to do whatever they want? So
And
it's literally a version of the internet purge.
why the fuck do you want to dox people's personal information? What joy you got with that? I know Lefty is trying to uh, keep his private life away. I mean, he talks about how he has a wife and children, and when you do shit like that, not cool. Absolutely not cool. I mean, he's a great guy too, and it sucks that he had to deal with that. If it's true that he was one of the victims of this asshole. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up right there. I mean, it's I'm still cool with the people that were cool to me, but for the people that ruined it, you guys are complete retards. You really are, honestly. And it just brings me back to those old days when you had all sorts of drama going on in the YWC, and it gives the community a bad name. I mean, whatever's left of this community's been a downturn for a while now. But yeah, seriously, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
But
I just don't get it. Like, it's funny how people complain that, oh, people are so immature. Like, people complain about like our generation being immature and insensitive. And it's like, well, we're not out doxing people. That's usually the newer generation. I can't remember growing up in the 90s and everything, like having that shit. Granted, we didn't have the internet as much, but it's been the past 5 or 10 years, if that all this doxing shit's been happening. So it's like, it ain't our generation doing it. So yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. People can say what they want, but all these fucking people ruining it just suck.
yeah. So hopefully the next time you'll see us, it's for more positive shit. I know that we have been lined up some stuff in the past. Hopefully we'll actually get to it this time. I still wanted to have the Zubir and WJ hangout where we can just shoot the shit and talk positively, but we'll probably get to that in the near future. I still want to do the Dark Side of the Ring and movie stuff, so that's definitely on the list for our next videos. Hopefully we'll come up with a time for that. But for now, hope to see you guys later. Take care.